Okay, hang on. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Where's my thing? Where's my thing? Where's my thing? I'm here. I'm alive. Hold up. Why is... Hang on, my chat is broken. I don't know why it's broken. Stop being broke. Okay, there it is. Hi. Okay, I can see you now. Oh my god, that took forever. I'm sorry. Good morning, everybody. I have not really set this up yet. I've had a extremely chill morning. Let's make this smaller. Alrighty. So here's the deal, folks. Here's the deal. This is gonna be kind of small, so I apologize for that. But I don't want it to take up too much of the screen. Whoops. This one. Move stuff around. There. I don't want to take it too much of the screen because it's annoying. But I think if it's up in the upper right-hand corner, it won't be too bad, you know? Right? That should be fine. Should be fine. Yeah. We'll do that. I'll take up even less space. It should be still readable if it's on a largish string. Anyway, hi, hello. If you guys haven't been to one of these live stream bingos, I've never won a bingo because I use a completely randomly generated card that has like a ton of options on them. Some of them are kind of cope, some of them are wish list items, some of them are realistic, and some of them I have no idea. So you can play along with me with your own randomly generated card. There's a link in the description box where you can go and play on Bingo Baker. Bingo Baker lets you play in a browser, which is really handy because you can just kind of like click the things. You don't have to open up a separate, what do you call it? A separate like editing software like a Paint or a Photoshop or anything. You don't have to do that. You can just click the thing. Like I can just click the thing and it marks it. So that's exciting. That's awesome. And yeah. Let's see what I have on this card. I haven't actually looked at this yet. I have Playable Senora. Candace likes TCG. Okay, so there's a lot of TCG stuff on here because I'm pretty sure we're getting TCG stuff. So I figured I'd put a bunch of stuff on here. You may get some different TCG ones, but a lot of the TCG stuff they've like references they've been making in the desert have been Yu-Gi-Oh references, and I'm pretty sure Candace is supposed to be referencing Isis, not the goddess Isis, but Isis from Yu-Gi-Oh. So that's why I was putting that in there. Anyway, Ito has to beatbox. He has to. If he doesn't, I'm going to be incredibly sad. It's been a while since we've got any anime news, so there's that. Child slander because Scaramouche is here, and I don't think he likes him very much, so I think they'll be fun. This and this look are kind of cope, but I want an Abyss quest, please. That'd be cool. New area teaser because I want to go to the sand tornado thing in the north of the desert. I want to go there. Farazan Hangout is almost a free space, I think. I mean, she should get one, right? It's time for new artifacts because we had a new boss last patch. It's been a long time since we've got new character skins. I don't know why they come out so slow. I want new forbidden books. Alhaitham and Sino card duel. I think they'd be funny. An event in Inazuma, mostly because Scaramouche is here. Ito meets Sino because they both really like TCG. Minigame event because we just had a combat event. Hypatia shows up. Goddess Flowers name drop. That's cope. Free to play weapon because we just got a new character last patch. So there's a couple of things on here that are like free spots. Because we'll definitely get those. Hoping for Dragon Spine stuff because that's what happens every winter. We'll see. Artifact loadouts ends up on all of my cards because I'll get it eventually. Raiden and Scaramouche don't talk. Yep, I hope that is not the case, but probably will be. Unless you watch the Japanese stream, because that one has both voice actors, I think. I want Injo and then Leyline Overflow, because Leyline Overflow. Anyway, that's what's on my card. I don't know what's on your card, but hopefully Trolling about Senora. Yeah, I mean, kind of. Kinda. Welcome, new members. What is in between Wanderer's hands? It's too blurry for me. Yeah, it's blurry for me too. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I would assume based on where it is, it's probably his heart or something that represents it. So we'll see. I want to test out the desktop audio real quick, if you guys don't mind. We're not going to watch like a whole thing. I just want to test the audio here, the desktop audio, and see if this is okay for you guys.
The people of Liyue honor their rich millennial-old
Is this too loud or is it
legacy,
too
not only
quiet
by keeping
or no?
classic dishes alive, but by creating new ones. The popular golden shrimp balls might just be the perfect example of modern-day Liyue cuisine.
Okay, good. Awesome. I like it. I actually haven't watched this yet. So there's that. Is it a little bit louder? Okay, I can make it a little louder. Hold up. We'll go up to like here. See if that's better.
Brilliant golden color and irresistible potato fragrance. It is a masterpiece of both presentation and flavor. Even Kuching, the Yuheng of the Qixing, who has savored countless delicacies,
for the record,
nothing but the highest praise.
If I'm gonna say anything more than like a couple of words of excitement, I will probably pause the video. So we won't have to worry too much about me getting drowned out, hopefully. Oh, you know what? That might be why. Okay, hang. Is that better? Is that better? I realized I didn't turn something on. Yep, that'll yeah. The BG is louder than me. That's kind of problematic. Shouldn't be louder. I'll put it back down here. Try it one more time. Discord live streaming, me live streaming the live stream. Oh boy, that's something. That's something. I really want them to release a Genshin cookbook. There's so many really cool dishes, and I want to make them. I don't even know what this is, but it looks fun. This cinematography is over. Are they trying to remake the Inn? That's cool. I haven't seen this. Sorry. I have... What? He just pulled it through a needle? Yeah, I don't have that kind of knife skills. Yeah. Alright, that was not satisfying. I don't like watching shrimp flop from a height. I've decided. It does look like shrimp balls, yeah. I really want one of those knives though, man. They're so cool. I have never made shrimp balls. Arturo, thanks for the super chat. Just want to say thank you for the content and one question. Do I like Hu Tao? She's been my main since 1.3. I have a mixed relationship with Hu Tao. I like her on paper. But her English voice actor tends to only voice characters I don't like. And so I have a really hard time with Hu Tao in English. I really like Japanese Hu Tao though. Those are really pretty. Am I excited for Scar? Yeah, I'm excited for Scaramouche. I've been waiting for 2 years. 2 whole years. I think it's funny that a pseudo cat girl likes shrimp balls. I'm just saying. But you know, Hu Tao's fine. Hu Tao's fine. She's not my favorite gameplay wise though. I'm not the biggest fan of how she plays. But I like her design. And I like her pranks. I'm surprised we haven't gotten her in another event. Or any event, really. Because, like, she got referenced last Lantern Rite, I think. But that's it, isn't it? Like, that was the last thing. It's so strange. I hope she shows up for this next Lantern Rite. That's next patch, yeah? It's not this one, it's next one. 3.4. You want a silly joke? What silly jokes do I have on hand? Probably not that many. I think here's my worst bad joke off the top of my head. What do you get when you have an angry cow and an angry sheep? 2 animals in a bad mood. I told you it was a bad joke. You asked for a bad joke. Well, you asked for a silly joke. I don't have a silly joke. I only have bad jokes. I only have really bad jokes. I think the only other one I can think of, like, on the spot right now is a fart joke. Well, I can give you a fart joke. I just realized I have 10,000 comments to go through. I don't want to do that. Let's not look at that. Let's not. I don't want to look at this. Go away. I'm too scared. There's too many. I don't put off going through comments ever. It's a bad idea. I do it for like 2 or 3 videos and then I look at my queue and I'm like, oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's a good one. I really hate elevators. I'm going to start taking steps to avoid them. Here's one. Why can James Bond never fart in bed? Because he'll blow his cover. Okay, that's all. I'm not doing anymore. That's it. I'm not doing stand up. It's fine. It's fine. Is it from Zach's stream? I didn't watch that one. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, that's funny. Wait, I've missed some things in chat. I'm sorry. I was paying attention. Lex Ludo, thanks for the super chat. And welcome new members. Welcome. I hope to see some of you in Discord. Ela! Thanks for the super chat. I need your thoughts on Ito. He's so precious. Ito is best himbo. He's the best himboni. He's one of my favorites. I like him. I was actually waiting for Ito basically since Inazuma dropped. I spent a lot of primos on him because Redhorn did not want to come home. I think that thing cost me like 27,000 primos. Holy cow. But, yeah. Ito's Scaramouche and Lumine all in one stream is like a perfect scenario for me. It's mwah. Excellent. Oh no, now the chat's full of bad jokes. Oh dear. Velvet J, thanks for the super chat. Wanted to say hi and thanks for all the content on lore. Really helps fashion my own lore for my stories I'm making. Me too, actually. There's a lot I've learned about world building from analyzing the hell out of Genshin's lore. Like, say what you will about the actual plot, Genshin's world building is honestly world class. It's very like it's so amazing that like every single thing that they put in is connected to something else, and you can just fall down these endless rabbit holes. It's crazy. Can we have a Discord command? I don't know how to do that. I actually don't know how to do the Discord command. I've never worked with bots all that much. I'm the chronic lurker in most chats, and I don't get to interact much. Do you think we'll get to see how Skarmish gets his vision? Yes, that's actually one of the bingo options. It's not on my card, but it is a bingo option. Not pictured on my card are like another like 25 tiles. So someone, if they're playing along, might have that. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Yes, they do have a Discord. It's a members Discord though, because I'm scared to, you know, I'm scared to open it up to a lot of people to moderate that. That's a lot of moderation. I don't want to. Maybe one day I'll have a mod team. We'll see. What did the fish say when he swam into a wall? Damn. Yep. I feel like now everyone's gonna spam really bad jokes in super chat. And in the member, what is the member thing? Is it promoted chat? I don't know what it's called. YouTube's got all these funny things. If you're a member, you get like highlight. Oh, it's called a highlighted chat, I think. You can have that, and it looks like a super chat. It's not, but I lump them all together because they're all the same colored boxes. Island says hi. Well, hello, Island. Say hi to me yourself, you coward. I'm actually surprised. I haven't gotten spoiled on anything yet. Then again, I have not gone on Twitter, which is where all the spoiling will happen. This thumbnail image is the most spoiled I've had. Well, no, that's not true. I've seen what banners are going to be available because that got posted like automatically to Discord channels and stuff. But that's okay. I don't think seeing what's on a banner is really all that problematic. What I'm really curious about is who the 4 stars are going to be. Drunk on stream. I actually don't drink. I mean, I drink water. Will I be doing 2 beginner's guides for Sumeru for the original and the new timeline? Oh, interesting. I hadn't thought about it that way. I don't think so. I don't think I will. I think it'll be just one. I think it's going to be just one timeline. But it's going to be a while because I can't make that video until we get the next desert region. Because we know there's one desert region coming, right? Like, we know there's at least one. Because of that giant twister thing. And we'll see how it goes from there. One thing I will do, because my lovely editor TXR has expressed interest in going back and reworking the Beginner's Guide to Mondstadt and the Beginner's Guide to Liyue. And so I'm going to do those, and I'm going to include Dragonspine and the Chasm in those videos. So that's something I'm going to do in the meantime while we wait for the rest of Sumeru. Did I play card game in the past? You mean like Magic? Or... I haven't seen anything about the TCG yet, except for like the last teaser from the the previous stream, so I have no idea. Also, Coast is not fully open yet. I'm curious, will it be open later on? I hope so. There's a lot of there's a lot of areas that have been mentioned in game that we don't have yet. Like Dornman Port in Mondstadt, we don't have that. The Tea Village in Lewa that I can't remember the name of, we don't have that either. Things like that. What lore vids theories am I doing in the near future? I've got, I'm doing a video on Sealies right now. So Sealies and Descenders, that's the next one I'm working on. That should be out next week-ish. It'll be out before 3.3, put it that way. And then after that is the third part of that series where we are going to talk about the God of Time, which I think will have very appropriate timing. No, that's not a bad joke. That anyway. And I might be doing World Structure Theory Part 5. We'll see. And we're gonna do a complete guide to Scaramouche, a complete analysis, like we did with the Yaksha. We're gonna do that, but with Scaramouche. So that's also coming up, but that's gonna happen in 3.3. What book or material should I read about Istaroth? Before Sun and Moon. It's the only one on her. Everything else is kind of conjecture. Thoughts on the little gremlins redesign? You know what? In the beginning, I thought the blue was a little bit jarring, but it grew on me really fast. I actually really like it. His design has a lot of subtleties to it that I'm really excited about. And I honestly now I like it more than his original one. The only thing I wish he kept was the veil. I really loved the veil, but I get why they took it off. But I really liked it. When will I do a face reveal? Never. I am a disembodied voice floating the void. Why is most of Inazuma's lore in books? It's not. It's actually in weapons and artifacts. There's actually not a lot of Inazuma's lore in books. It's in primarily weapons. It's in a lot of scattered notes and books that are like not ones you can put in your inventory, among other things. It's actually not a whole lot in books themselves. So. I don't really want to do a VTuber model because they feel like they're really... The thing I don't like about VTuber models is like a lot of times they're really, really beautiful and really complex. But because they're so nice, they take up so much of the screen that I can't focus on whatever's on the screen, and I just watch the model. And I don't like that so much. It's the one thing I don't particularly like about it. Yeah, I guess PNG tubing could possibly, maybe, I guess, but that requires a whole different setup. I just had a potato model. Yeah, I'll just get a potato. I'll get my favorite potato. I'll do that. I've done hand reveals. I've done shoe reveals too, because like I've posted videos of me running around playing with my dogs. Or it's on the channel somewhere. No, not feet, shoes. Shoes. I'm wearing shoes. I don't know. Okay, what do I think about the theory about Puccinella being the streets? Listen, I don't know enough about any sort of Slavic mythology to be able to comment on it. I don't. And that's my own shortcoming. Learning about regions that I'm like genuinely not familiar with takes a long time. And right now I'm just focused on this massive region of cultures that Sumeru is. So that's, you know, that's hard. That's hard. Mara Javari, when would it be my theories? I don't know. I don't know where Marjavari is. But we're gonna have to not do questions because like we're starting in like 2 minutes, I think. Right? Yeah. Premieres in 60 seconds. Oh, but it's gonna have like a 2-minute countdown or something, right? Oh god, I hope they change the default thing. I hate the annoying. It's so annoying. 1 R&R left, and you know what? When I did it, I thought I got them all, and then I had missed 4. And then I thought I got all of them, and then I went to go get the chest, and I couldn't get the chest. And then I followed a different guide, which just took me to the R&R in a different order. And literally the first R&R on that list was the one I was missing. And it was just out in the open, sitting on a lily pad. It wasn't even hidden. It was the most infuriating thing. Yeah, I'll mute the timer because it's really annoying. You know what? I did like the Pokemon event. I've been really burned out of Pokemon for like the last, I think, 3 or 4 generations of Pokemon. I didn't even play Legends of Arceus because I was so pissed off about the quality of the actual world. It's kind of unacceptable for a 2022 game. Well, 2021. And I know Game Freak gets pushed up against the wire, and the Pokemon Company kind of like holds them at gunpoint to produce games like fast, but still. It was just one of those things I just did not. It is 11 a.m. Begin! 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 Why is it not beginning? Why is it not beginning? It's 11 a.m. Oh. That's loud. There it goes. Sorry, I don't want to listen to the countdown. I hate this music. I hate it so much. But no, so the Pokemon event, the mushroom event, I actually thought was pretty cool. It was pretty simple, but I like controlling 4 little dudes all at the same time because it was, again, based on reactions, which I think adds a nice little level of complexity, but also randomness. Quality check? Quality check what? The story was basically a Pokemon story, let's be real. Okay, you guys ready? We ready? I gotta put this in full screen. Ready, 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 go. Let's go.
Hey, traveler, what a surprise! I didn't expect to see you here.
Why is it in German?
I bet you didn't waste any time as soon as you heard that Inazuma was organizing a test of courage event, right? Huh? I know you. Oh, what am I doing? Well, obviously I'm here scouting out the place. I've been investigating the area and I've already figured out all the plans for the event. Of course, I can tell you all the details. We're practically family. I'm Max Middleman, and this is the Genshin Impact version 3.3 special program. Let's roll the version 3.3 trailer.
I am not from Germany.
A friendly word of advice. Test of courage events tend to give rise to a variety of strange rumors and stories. So please, be sure to exercise caution.
How was that? Were you scared?
Oh man, I love him.
Who goes there?
So, is there really a ghost around here? Why this time I have a feeling that it's staring right at us? Are you talking to me?
Oh, this is awesome.
Jester, I have completed the task you gave me.
From this day forth, Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
Dottore. Dottore! In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Yay!
Squall and Fury! You dare to gaze upon me?
Oh, I'm excited. This is gonna be awesome.
Dare to mess with me?
Oh, she has attitude. I like it. I wasn't expecting that.
Bird rat. Have fun with this gift.
Scaramouche, the mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
Oh, it is him. In the... Okay, that's cool. All right, that's neat. That's neat. That's neat. I'm actually most surprised there about Farzan. Because I didn't expect her to have that kind of attitude. I thought she was going to be a bit more like not one-dimensional, even keeled. How's that? That's a better term. But I'm actually really excited about a Test of Courage event. Say what you will about the winter events. I love the winter events, but Halloween is my favorite holiday, like, period. So it gets extended through December. That's amazing. I'm excited. Okay. Do you guys mind if I pause for a second? We can touch on Kabukimono before we go on. I'm actually gonna pause. Sorry. The Kabukimono thing where he said it. This is an issue with the localization team. So the localization team actually translated the term Kabukimono into wandering eccentric. So if you read the notes of Tatarasuna, he's called wandering eccentric, but in Japanese it says Kabukimono, right? So Kabukimono is basically, it can mean two things. It can either refer to someone who does kabuki, so the play, so an actor in a kabuki play, or it can be a swordsman, a very specific type of swordsman that's like a ronin, but they were known for their really garish and outlandish and super colorful clothing, and their clothing inspired kabuki. Or it was the other way around. I can't remember which one it was. They're related. But anyway, sorry. We're gonna go. So that's what he's saying here. So the localization team originally translated the Kabukimono into wandering eccentric. And now they've changed it so that they're using it as a name. So now he's calling it Kabukimono.
Hey everyone, and welcome
Sorry,
to the Genshin Impact version 3.3 special program. I'm your host, Sarah Miller-Cruz, the voice of Lumine in Genshin Impact. And today, I'm joined by...
Max, the one and only middleman, voice of the one and only Arataki Ito.
And I'm Patrick Pedraza, voice of the Wanderer. But up until now, travelers have only known me as Scaramouche, and everyone's been battling me in the game lately.
Yeah, that's true. But to be fair, it's a really cool fight.
It's a really cool fight.
Yeah, no, Lumine doesn't count.
Anyway,
as an
I'm
Abyss
super
Twin
excited
cameo.
to have the chance to share some upcoming content with everyone. What did you all think about that trailer?
Okay, so I definitely saw Irminsul in there, and I am really excited to find out more about it.
Yeah, that trailer had everything. It had everything. It had
That's the
action.
Spiral
It had,
Abyss in the background.
Drama. It was lighthearted in places, but it was dramatic.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just super stoked for everyone to see Scaramouche's, backstory. I'm super excited about it for reals.
Heck yeah.
Well, speaking of that, following the story's development, Scaramouche is still in Nahida's custody. So I bet the question everyone's wanting to know is how he'll become the Wanderer.
Yeah, for sure.
subs on.
And
Yeah,
there's
sure.
quite
We
a
can do that.
story behind that. If you're interested, then be sure to play through the Archon Quest interlude chapter in version of Genesis. There is so much to learn in this quest, so I hope everyone checks it out.
Oh, come on, man. You can't just leave everyone hanging like that. How about some hints? Come on, please. Please.
All right. How can I say no to a cute chibi Ito?
You can't.
Here's a little preview from the quest.
We ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. From what
I
they
have
were
comments.
saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained.
This counts
And
as dream
most of
walking.
the information we have now is just from
If you
people
got on the bingo
filling
card.
the gaps with their imagination. At least that's what they thought.
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Hold on. I'm gonna end up doing this a lot. I'm sorry. No one is allowed to say that I am not correct about the Irminsul fruit icon anymore. If anyone tells me that it's a chain link one more time, I'm gonna smother them in honey and just wait for the bees to get them. You see this symbol? This symbol in the middle of the screen, that's what's on the sustainers boxes. Right there. That's the one I've been talking about. Here it is on the tree. No one's allowed to comment anymore. Sorry.
Pretty rad.
Wait, why are they talking about Tatarasuna?
I guess we'll have to see. It is interesting, though, to see the Traveler, Nahida, and Scaramouche all together so peacefully like that.
A little bit, yeah.
But in this interlude chapter, Nahida will task the Traveler and Paimon with keeping an eye on Scaramouche while we go with him into Irminsul in search of some information.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
So obviously Nahida must have some reason for deciding to keep Scaramouche around.
Oh yeah, totally. And I'm liking Scaramouche's new style. Ooh, dude's looking sharp.
Heck yeah, always. No, right. And at this point, he's known by a completely different name, the Wanderer. I love that name.
Okay, so I know I'm not the only one who's curious about what happened. I mean, it looks like he's really changed a lot.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm afraid that's all we can show for now. Travelers will have to experience the story for themselves in-game. I mean, it's better to explore the story.
I don't like the name either, guys. It's fine.
Right?
True.
He's Scaramouche for me
I guess
forever.
You're right. Okay, we'll leave the rest for
Or
travelers
Shinji.
to discover themselves.
I might just call him
But
Shinji.
the Wanderer is also going to be a new playable character in version 3.3. So let's talk about that. I'm sure many of our viewers are curious about his talents.
Heck yeah, sure thing.
have
Let's have a look
seen
at
them.
the Wanderer in combat.
I've seen them. Why
There's
Shinji?
no
Oh
need
god.
to exchange pleasantries. It's rather pathetic to force a conversation just to occupy silence.
The wind rises.
We get to fly!
Bow your head.
All right, Patrick.
Oh, it has a
you're
sound
up.
effect. Oh,
Help
that's
introduce
funny.
the Wanderer for us.
Sure thing. The Wanderer is a catalyst user and has an animo-vision, so he uses wind blades to perform ranged normal attacks.
I'm
Wait
excited.
a second. Wind blades?
Not the same as the Traveler's wind blade, though.
Okay.
So, as everyone probably already noticed, the Wanderer can hover in the air when
He
he
wants
casts
to
his
be a
elemental
machine
skill.
so bad.
Upon using his elemental skill, he will first deal AoE damage before leaping into the air and entering a hovering state. So, while hovering, the Wanderer's normal and charge attacks will be converted into Kugo Fushudan and Kugu Tofukai respectively. The damage they deal and their AoE will be increased. Their damage will be considered normal and charge attack damage, respectively. Also, Kugu Tofukai will not consume stamina, and he can remain hovering for a certain duration.
That's so awesome! He can fly!
I know, right? But he can't stay hovering forever. While hovering, the Wanderer constantly consumes Kuguryoku points to maintain his hovering state, which is the blue meter you see on the screen. Even if he doesn't move or attack, hovering will still consume Kuguryoku points.
Okay.
So this mechanic works a little differently than our typical stamina meter. There are many possible actions the Wanderer can perform while hovering in the air, which all rely on Kuguryoku points rather than stamina. So, for example, sprinting mid-air will consume additional Kuguryoku points to accelerate mid-air, and holding the sprint button will cause persistent point consumption to maintain speed. So this effect will
I
replace
have
his
a few
default
things to
sprint.
say.
Jumping expends extra Kuguryoku points to
But I'll
increase
wait.
hovering height. Holding jump will cause persistent Kuguryoku point consumption to keep increasing hovering height. Of course, running out of points will end his hovering state.
Oh, okay.
Get
so
to the burst.
travelers will need to plan their actions while hovering.
It makes me
Exactly.
giggle.
So with his talent, Jade Claim Flower, when casting his elemental skill, if it contacts Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro, that instance of the skill will receive a corresponding buff effect depending on which element was contacted. So for example, increasing his Kuguryoku points cap, attack,
I'll
crit
say-
rate,
I'll say when we're
or
done going
restoring
through
a
them,
set amount
before
of
we do
energy upon
Farazan.
hitting opponents with a normal or charged attack. The Wanderer can have up to 2 different kinds of these buffs simultaneously.
Ooh.
Oh, look, check that out. Part of the halo behind him changes color depending on the buffs you get. So travelers will be able to easily understand what effects the Wanderer currently has.
I like that. It's helpful and still looks really cool.
Yeah.
So after unlocking another talent, Gales of Reverie, when the Wanderer is in the hovering state, if his normal or charged attack hits an enemy, there is a set chance to gain another buff effect, allowing him to sprint midair without consuming Kuguryoku points. Additionally,
I wonder
this
how
buff
long that
effect
buff
will
lasts,
fire
though.
wind arrows to attack the enemy.
I like the color seems to fade kind
I'm
of
sure
quick.
extra buff effects like that will go a long way for players when they're in combat.
Yeah, for sure. And if you've noticed, there is a colorful aura of light around his body to indicate when that buff effect is triggered.
I saw that.
That's pretty cool. I love all the detail they've put into the Wanderer.
All right, this brings us to the Wanderer's elemental burst.
They know their audience so well.
So, check this out. Upon unleashing his burst, he compresses the atmosphere and stomps it down toward the enemy. So, travelers should note that if the Wanderer is in a hovering state when he unleashes his burst, then the hovering state will end and he will begin descending after the burst is completed.
Okay, this stomping animation is a little aggressive.
Yeah, but it's cool.
I know, and it actually suits his character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't help but agree.
Wait. Let's not forget about the exploration talent.
Ah, yes. This is an interesting one. The Wanderer can decrease the mora required when ascending bows and catalysts.
This is a reference to his
you can never
mom.
complain about saving Mora, am I right?
Because I think
Okay,
A has the
true.
same one, but for spears.
All right, now that we've seen the Wanderer, let's move on to the next new character.
All right. One thing I have to back up a little bit. Sorry. I wanted to point something out, or maybe we'll wait till later. I don't know. Where is it? Hang on. I'm sorry. Why is it so hard to find the one frame I want? Gee, I wonder why it's so hard to find one frame. You know what? Let's not do this. We'll do this later. We'll do this later. I'm sorry. Let's keep going.
The Wanderer can
Let's keep going.
decrease the mora required when ascending bows and catalysts.
Hey now, you can never complain about saving Mora, am I right?
Okay, that's true. All right, now that we've seen the Wanderer, let's move on to the next new character.
Let's take a look
Are
at
you
Farzan.
ready?
We'll talk more about stuff later,
Yay!
like post stream. Okay. I know we're like behind the.
What did you
actual-
say?
It's fine.
Oh, I'm old now, so every other phrase escapes my ears. Try calling me Madam Farozan, and I'll see if I can pick that up. What is it that you would like to learn more about? Different forms of pressure-based puzzle mechanisms? The base layer design of elemental monuments?
Yes, that please.
Wait. Did you forget to call me Madam Farozan just now when you asked your question? Whoa! What? There's nothing wrong with being afraid of thunder, even at an older age.
Oh, she sounds
Love it.
sassy.
Yeah,
Love
that's
it.
smart too.
She seems so awesome.
She's fun.
I'm gonna make a sass squad.
I wonder what her skirt's made
I know, her design is so cool and really detailed. I love it.
So, even though she looks super young, she's actually an old person? Like, where's my teeth?
Well, she's not that old.
Oh,
That
right.
could've fooled me.
Farazan's age is probably still nothing compared to Scaramouche.
Mm-hmm. But let's call him the Wanderer, Sarah. Please.
Okay, you know who I meant. Actually, now that I think about it, yokai can also live a really long time too.
That's right, yeah, no, and speaking of age, isn't the Traveler's age also kind of mysterious?
She's about 100 years old.
It looks like all of our characters are intriguing.
Scaramouche should be about
But
490.
it's safe to say that Farazan is way older than most people in Teyvat. Farazan works in the Academia's Haravatat Darshan and has been a hairbod, which roughly means mentor, for over a century.
There it
So
is.
I bet everyone out there is wondering if she's also some kind of creature.
gonna do a
blessed
mono
with
animal
long
team?
life,
No.
You know, like Klee.
No, I'm not doing that.
No, she's actually just your regular, typical human being.
Oh.
Well, maybe not so typical. About 100 years ago, Farazan
Told
was
ya.
an undisputed genius, traveling all around Sumeru and solving many puzzles and mysteries. The notes she left behind eventually became the basis of mechanical research for later generations.
Whoa.
I love that
she
they're
sounds
releasing a
pretty
mechanical
amazing.
research student with
But
Scaramouche,
later,
who's
she
like
accidentally stumbled
at
into
least
some
partly
ruins while
robotic.
trying to solve a puzzle. There, she encountered some strange phenomenon which stopped her from aging, and was trapped there for nearly 100 years.
Woo.
She eventually solved the puzzle and was able to finally return to Sumeru.
Can you imagine being trapped in a puzzle for 100 years? Wait. So that's how she's been hairbod for over a century?
Yeah. And even now, she still has
love
the
it.
pride of a scholar in her heart and is a very
Time
talented person.
shenanigans.
It's just that after being separated from the world for so long, she's kind of fallen behind the times now.
Oh, hey, I get what you mean. She was once a proud researcher in a niche field that has become unpopular after 100 years. So, is she still completely dedicated to her field?
Yep. And she often tries using her old age as a means of drumming up support for her ideas.
Okay, so
However,
she's not actually
I think
100
she'd prefer
years
to
old.
be complained about for using her seniority rather than garnering sympathy for her experience of being trapped in the ruins.
Yeah, sounds like she's quite the character.
I know, right? Okay, so now that we've covered her
Interesting.
backstory, why don't we take a look at Faruzan's abilities in combat?
Let's do it.
Fight.
Was she
fight.
alive during the Age of Forbidden Knowledge? No, that would have been thousands of years ago.
100 years have passed, yet there hasn't been any change to those dumb rules at the academia.
Oh, hey, shush.
Dare to mess with
Oh
me?
dear.
Have fun with this gift.
I love all the geometric shapes when she's playing. Did you guys see that?
Yes, there's
crazy.
so much geometry.
Sorry, I have 4 dots
and
today.
I took geometry.
It looks so cool.
Ah, yeah.
So, Faruzan is an animo character, and she wields a bow as her weapon. Her normal attacks are the usual bow attacks you'd expect from a bow user, so there's not
A
too
bow
much
is
to
just
say about
unexpected for her,
that. But her
I feel like.
skills are where things get interesting. Her elemental skill deploys a polyhedron that deals damage to enemies. After using her skill, her next aimed shot will become a special attack that creates a vortex.
This is the
pulling
one thing
nearby
I'm
objects
dreading.
And opponents in.
Oh, nice. So she can clump enemies together.
And there's also another thing about her special charged attack. It will create a vortex effect at its point of impact. And if the attack hits an enemy or ally member, it'll apply a mark and create a vortex after a short delay.
Okay.
She's not a budget
it looks
venti,
like
I'll tell you
there'll be
that.
a lot of potential uses for this attack.
She's not, you'll see.
Travelers will have to experiment with it and see what they come up with.
Yeah, I think it'd be amazing to try hitting teammates with the arrow in co-op mode and have them charge into the enemies to group them all together. I'll have to see who wants to try that with me. After unlocking the talent Impetuous Flow, the time required for fully charging Faruzan's next shot will be reduced, and the arrow will reduce the target enemy's animo resistance.
There it is.
In her elemental burst, she deploys a dazzling polyhedron and releases a whirlwind
She's
pulse.
more of a support
Throughout
venti.
its duration, the dazzling polyhedron will continuously move along a triangular path. Once it reaches each corner of that triangular path, it will unleash one more whirlwind pulse.
Yeah, 1 minute she's here, the next she's gone for 100 years.
You know what? I don't think we've gotten anything on the bingo card.
Even Sino's jokes are funnier than that.
It was pretty
All
funny.
right. Anyway, let's hear what effects these whirlwind pulses have.
Sure. When the whirlwind pulse hits opponents, it will decrease their animo resistance. It will also apply an animo damage buff effect to all nearby party members when it's unleashed. Travelers should note that the effective range of this buff is quite large, and it's not just within the whirlwind pulse itself, so
Phoebe.
there's no need to go chasing the polyhedron. After unlocking her talent, Lost Wisdom of the Seven Caverns, when a team member uses normal, charged, or plunging attacks, elemental skills, or elemental bursts to deal animo damage to an enemy, the damage will increase based on Faruzan's base attack. This effect can only be triggered once for a certain duration of time.
Oh, so it seems she'll be the solid support.
Yeah.
Totally! And as a researcher of mechanics and puzzles, Faruzan has taken it upon herself to explore many ruins, with her travels taking her all across Sumeru. Her exploration talent reflects this. and
Oh,
she
good.
gains more rewards when
Sumeru
dispatched on a
exploration one.
Sumeru
That's nice.
expedition for 20 hours.
I'm sure no other mentor in Haravatat has 100 years of experience in solving puzzles.
Yeah, I gotta say, that's pretty hard to beat. So, the big question is, when can travelers expect to get these new characters?
That is
I've
a
got
good
bad news
question.
for you about the C6
Let's
lock.
talk about the upcoming event wishes. In the early part of version 3.3, the Wanderer and Arataki Ito will be available via their own event wishes. Farazan will also be making her debut in these event wishes.
Ito, I love you, but
In the later
please,
part of version 3.3,
why?
we'll be seeing rerun event wishes for both the Raiden Shogun and
This is the one thing I'm not excited about, is Ito being on the same banner as Scaramouche, because I already have a red horn. I'm gonna end up with another one. I just know it.
Kamisato Ayato. And last but not least, the new 5-star catalyst, Tule Tula's Remembrance, will be appearing in a new weapon event wish.
And that's not all. In version 3.3, 2 brand new artifact series will become available. So
New
travelers
artifacts,
should
there
be
it
sure
is.
to check out the corresponding domain.
Woo! More artifacts!
I got a thing.
I hope travelers will have fun experimenting and trying new combinations with.
Alrighty, Animo Damage 1. When charge attacks hit opponents, the equipping character's normal attack speed will increase by 10%, while normal charge and plunging attack damage will be increased by 40% for 15 seconds. That seems pretty strong. That one has to be for Scaramouche. Flower of Paradise Lost. The equipping character's Bloom, Hyper Bloom, and Burgeon reaction damage is increased by 40%. Additionally, after the equipping character triggers Bloom, Hyper Bloom, or Burgeon, they will gain another 25% bonus to the effect mentioned prior. Wow. That's a lot. Each stack of this lasts 10 seconds, max 4 stacks simultaneously. This effect can only be triggered once per second. The character who equips this... Wow, okay. So I'm going to live in this domain for like the next 6 months because, that sounds like a new Shinobu set and a new Scaramouche set. Yeah. There could be Goddess of Flowers lore in that set. That's true. This does look like it could be Scarlet King and Goddess of Flowers lore. But they haven't mentioned her, so I'm not going to mark it off in the thing.
Yeah.
Cookie set, though.
Okay.
Woo!
We've already talked about a ton of new content, so why don't we take a quick break with another redemption code?
Oh, I didn't need to pause.
Sounds good. Roll
I see.
out the code.
Woohoo!
Oh, yeah. Those sets are going to be lore dumps like crazy. Hey, Hazo's here. He exists. Guys, Hazo exists. This is cool. This is cool. I'm actually really excited about this. Those sets look really strong. Yeah, I really want Goddess of Flowers lore. I really want Goddess. I just realized I could skip this because we're behind now. I don't have to actually sit through this, do I? No, I don't. I can skip a little bit.
Program.
There we go.
Okay, Patrick, what do we have next?
So next, we'll be covering the upcoming events for the new version.
That's right. We've already mentioned the Test of Courage event, and I'm sure plenty of you
where
are
is
wondering
it?
about that, so let's start there.
Oh, there it is. Inazuma event. Oh, I got that one too.
You must be here to participate in the Test of Courage. I can already see a dark aura surrounding the
Should
two
be
of
this
you.
one, yeah?
If you carelessly go running into the event, all it'll take is one little misstep, and the darkness will swallow you up. Some strange and unusual things may occur along the way. If you ever feel you can't handle it, you may withdraw from the event at any time.
Wow, they gave
This
her
is
like
your
a
last
unique
chance.
model. Look at that.
I'll
She's
count
got a
it
flower
down.
in her eye.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, she's gonna get
Welcome
fan
to the
art.
Test
Like
of
a lot of it.
Courage. Enter at your own risk.
I want the blue floating lanterns.
That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it is a test of courage, so I'm sure there'll be some scary stuff going on there.
I ain't scared.
Anyway,
I mean,
to
Hu Tao's
successfully
in
clear this
Liyue?
event, we'll be facing
Well, I guess
a
she could've
series of
traveled.
little tests.
Ooh, what's this? Tests, you say?
Yes, that's right. Word has it that if you walk around the test of courage, you might find yourself encountering a special sort of game. We've already got the rules down, so I'll do a quick introduction. Basically, travelers will have to control a bouncing bar to bounce a ball and use skill ball effects to break as many bricks as possible.
Okay, I'm liking this one.
This is Brick Breaker.
Straightforward.
During the game, travelers will be able to trigger elemental reactions to break bricks
Oh,
more
that's
effectively.
cool.
Nice.
That is
It even has
cool.
elemental reactions.
Yeah, we can control the character to
Oh,
move the ball.
neato.
When the character we're using is either pyro, hydro, cryo, or electro, the corresponding
Oh,
element
that's
will be
cool.
applied
That
to the bar.
is cool.
By switching characters, you can
That
change
is
the
so
element of the bar.
cool.
Okay, all the pieces are falling in place now. The bar can infuse a certain element, and the blocks also have their own elements. So causing a skill ball of
Usually
one
they
element
just make
to
like
hit
a
blocks
light
of
version
different elements will trigger elemental
of
reactions.
whatever it
There,
is that
how'd I
they're
do?
copying.
Yep, you nailed it. The bar
That's
will
so cool.
add
They
the
actually
element
they like
corresponding to your character.
went above and
Besides
beyond to
triggering
make this
reactions
better.
The way you just mentioned,
That is cool.
If a skill ball is already infused by an element and it hits the bar, it will also trigger a reaction, causing the skill ball to have some additional effects.
Oh, that's
when
neat.
preparing your team, you can equip modifiers to receive various buff effects, which will help you successfully clear the
Oh,
challenge.
that is so neat.
Also, when there are less than a certain amount of bricks on the board and the ball lands another hit, the bar will unleash fireworks.
I just realized Lumine is reading from a book.
Yeah.
You guys see that?
Travelers can utilize this
It's
effect
behind
to
the
break
subs.
some bricks that would normally be difficult to hit directly.
It's like a bonus attack.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
So, travelers will need to select
fuck's
characters of
sake.
the right elements, equip the appropriate modifiers, and use different elemental reactions to break bricks and score more points.
And then travelers will be able to use their points to exchange for rewards in the event shop, correct?
That's right. Also, travelers will have the option of teaming
It's the
up and
forbidden
playing
book,
the
yeah.
event together in co-op mode.
Oh, looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah, in addition to this minigame, the Test of Courage storyline will also contain more challenges. Travelers will even have a chance to meet with some good friends again, so be sure to check out this new event. All right,
Like who?
let's move on
Like
to our
who?
next event.
Okay, so
Oh,
next
come
up,
on.
we have a race event called Across the Wilderness. Your objective, collecting balloons.
Mondstadt.
I don't know.
Oh,
Seems like the
okay.
Wanderer's abilities might come in real handy here.
I know, right?
So, in this event, each stage will have wilderness balloons scattered all around. Travelers will need to find as many wilderness balloons as possible within the time limit to earn increasingly better rewards. So, during the challenge, travelers will be able to utilize their character's skills and talents. So, it'll be important to assemble the right team depending on the traits and terrain
This
of the
is
challenge
a
area.
Kazuha
interesting.
Starmoosh
Yeah,
event.
so travelers can also use something called the Wilderness Compass to obtain various buffs, which include enhanced jumping capabilities,
Oh, true, this is the
increased movement
GAA
speed,
theme, isn't it?
or unlimited stamina, etc.
Ooh, cool.
However, you can only claim one buff during each
Alice
challenge.
lore?
You must consume Blessed Energy to use the compass and gain the selected buff. You may charge the compass up by finding wilderness balloons or interacting with Blessed Energy in the challenge. Or you can always wait for the compass to passively charge over time.
Yo, this event looks pretty crazy. It's almost like watching parkour.
Yeah, there are two different kinds
yeah.
of wilderness balloons in these challenges. The first is Harvest Balloons, which will increase the overall progress of your search for wilderness balloons. The other kind is Sonar Balloons, which will cause several Harvest Balloons to appear around you for a set amount of time.
I just realized we're on Beto's ship.
So there will be 5 stages available for this event, and travelers will need to consider the conditions and terrain of each stage to come up with the best way to complete it. Also, travelers may team up in co-op mode for challenges.
Ooh, more chances to play together. I love it.
Yeah, same. Okay, let's move on to our next event.
Everyone's favorite game of hide and seek is back with the
Wind
Wind Trace event.
Trace?
And of course, this is going to be another co-op event, and I for one am super excited for it.
Wind
Nothing like a
Trace?
good co-op. Many of you might
Okay,
already be familiar
real
with
talk.
this event by now.
Last Wind Trace,
but
I played
there have been a
every
few
game with
changes.
Ito and I didn't
Let
lose
me
once and it
introduce
was
what travelers
hilarious.
can expect to see this time around. We can probably skip some of the basics this time. You know, players either hide or seek. And then...
Okay, wait a second. There actually might be some new travelers out there who've never seen this event before. So why don't you start with some of the basics?
Right, good point. Okay, let's start at the beginning then. This is a game with a long history in Mondstadt. Travelers will be split into 2 different sides, the Rebels and the Hunter. You will need to use skills and master the art of hiding or chasing down others to win this event. The goal of the hunter is to capture all the rebels, while the rebels run or use other means to keep themselves from getting caught by the hunter.
Okay, that's straightforward enough. So what else you got for us?
Well, some travelers may remember playing as the rebels and getting caught early in the game. Once that would happen, all you could do was spectate and watch the rest as the others continue playing. But this time around, once you're caught, you'll still be able to participate in the match, even in observer mode.
They pulled in Among Us.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Once you're in observer mode, you can't be
pulled in
seen
Among
by
Us.
other players and will receive the illusory beacon skill. This skill will allow you to place a random beacon to confuse the hunter. If your beacon successfully tricks the hunter and is destroyed, then the hunter will suffer an obscured vision effect.
So even after you've been captured, you can be like a little ghost, trying to help your teammates by disrupting the hunter.
That's good.
That's pretty fun.
That's cool.
And at least you won't have to sit there and just watch the rest of the match anymore.
Exactly, but what does the hunter get this time? I mean, we gotta keep it fair.
Some new Windward arts have been added for both the hunter and the rebels. The hunter will now be able to use the hunter's net. This net can be thrown and will remove any rebel disguises within its range, and will notify the hunter that a rebel was detected. If a beacon is caught in the net, it'll be destroyed and the hunter will not suffer from
I think that's a fair balance.
Nice. So I guess if you love playing hunter, you'll probably love this.
Oh yeah, you definitely
I think
should.
that's a nice
The skill
balance.
rebels used in previous versions of the game to place beacons can now only be used by players in observer mode. However, the rebels will be able to use an all-new concealing beacon skill. This skill will allow you to deploy a beacon for a set duration and remain invisible while you're around that beacon. All players, including your rebel teammates, will be unable to see you while you're invisible. If the concealing
Don't worry, they
beacon is
disable skills
destroyed
for
by the
this.
hunter, then the hunter will have their vision obscured.
Scar won't be
for a
able to
short
fly
time.
here.
Sounds pretty fun, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so even if you end up being captured by the hunter at the start of the game, you'll still be able to participate and assist your teammates. And
Good. I'm glad. That was one of the worst parts of
gems and other
Windtrace.
rewards,
Getting caught early and then just not being able to
Be
do
sure
anything.
to check it out.
Oh, that's awesome. Seriously, I can't wait to play with friends. Okay, our next event is
It is
a
co-op only,
combat-based
yeah.
event.
Time for
But
some
it's random.
combat!
Whoop, whoop.
In a forbidden place warded by dust and sand,
Misty
mysterious foes
Dungeon.
have assembled
Nice.
lines of fortifications to stop your coming.
Ooh.
That's right, a new edition of Misty Dungeon will arrive in version 3.3. Stoked.
Sweet.
But this time around, there will be a total of 7 trials with different themes awaiting you in the Misty Dungeon. Each has a different leyline disorder, and travelers will have to adjust their teams according to the disorder's effects and the distribution of enemies. There will also be trial characters for you to select from as well. After entering the domain, travelers will need to go and complete 3 challenges to collect ancient runes. After collecting power from 3 ancient
And
runes, we
Scarlet
can power up the
King
control
themed.
array and proceed to the final challenge. Also, throughout the trial,
I enjoy
additional
this.
benediction mechanisms and challenges will appear. Travelers may choose to interact with these to increase the leyline disorder's effects or revive and heal your team.
You know, if it were up to me, I'd say just go for all the challenges.
I know, but travelers should keep in mind that the challenge objective for each trial might be different, so be sure to check the objective and aim for that while proceeding. In terms of rewards, travelers can
Mix
look
it up
forward
a
to
bit.
winning
I like
primo
it.
gems and other various prizes. Yes.
Ooh, I like prizes.
And last but not least, version 3.3 will also have leyline overflow events. Travelers can look forward to saving their resin and earning more Mora and experience books.
Nice, that's awesome. That'll be great for all the travelers
Leyline
out there still
overflow.
leveling up all their new characters. And even
Got
if you
that
don't
one.
need those resources now, it's always good to stock up and have more on hand, am I right?
Yeah. So, travelers looking to upgrade their characters won't want to miss this.
Yeah, I
Still
mean, this is all good stuff.
In addition to the new version's limited
yeah.
time events, version 3.3 will also be adding a new permanent game mode called Genius Invocation TCG.
Woo!
Genius Invocation TCG!
But before we get into that,
I'm
let's
still mad they
take
changed the
another
name.
quick break and enjoy a redemption code.
Why did they change the
Yay!
name from
Slap
Seven
that code on the
Saints?
screen.
I liked Seven Saint Summonings. That was a cool name. Genius Invocation is fine, but like in every other language, it's not that. So annoying. Anyway. It does have a different name. It actually had a different name in English too. Like when it first was teased, it was just a game that Ito played, and it was still called Seven Saints Summoning or something like that. And then they changed it when they actually announced it. Oh, I don't know about the apostrophe. I'm not sure. Oh, right, I can skip the code. It's not live. God, right. Sorry. Let's go. I forgot I'm behind.
Everyone. During our journey into that, we've stumbled across several NPCs talking about a game called Genius Invocation TCG.
Let me play them.
We'll introduce this card game that's been taking Teyvat by storm. In the version 3.1 special program, we already revealed that Genius Invocation TCG will be a card game where we can challenge various characters and NPCs or battle against your friends. But there is actually a legend behind this game.
Oh?
It is said that a young guy in Sumeru found an ancient casket of tomes in the attic. He opened it and discovered that the soul of an ancient TCG player called the Crocodile King.
This is the biggest Yu-Gi-Oh reference ever.
Oh, what a name.
Come on.
It turns out that the Crocodile King was King Deshret's viceroy, who battled an opponent named the Ibis King. During the match, the Crocodile King fell prey to his opponent's scheme and was sealed away in the casket of tomes.
This is literally Yu-Gi-Oh.
Over.
After being unexpectedly released by the kid, the Crocodile King possesses him and helps him to gradually climb the ranks to becoming a legendary TCG player.
Nice. Hang on, is it just me, or does that kind of sound like the plot to a light novel or something?
You're right. It turns out that Yai Publishing House is about to release
a hit
light novel series based on Genius
Why wouldn't
Invocation
they?
TCG.
Okay, now this is starting to sound like a plug for Yai Publishing House.
Maybe. But anyway, that's the legend on how Genius Invocation TCG came to be. Though it's probably just a story they came up with for marketing the game.
So there's more in everything. Us about the story, I was over here researching the rules to the game. Basically, Genius Invocation TCG is a game where you use a constructed deck of cards to duel against an opponent. The objective is to defeat all of your opponent's character cards.
That's right.
Also, there are many features and mechanics in the game that resonate with Genshin Impact's gameplay, so it shouldn't be too hard for players to get the hang of.
Right, I even saw some elemental reactions in the gameplay.
Yup, a constructed deck must contain character cards. And as you might expect, these character cards have a normal attack, an elemental skill, and an elemental burst. So when a character card deals elemental damage to an enemy, it will cause them to be affected by that element. Then you can switch to a character card of a different element and use their abilities to trigger an elemental reaction.
Wait, did you guys notice that there are even monster character cards? Can we even make a deck of, like, just the monsters from the game?
You're really getting into this, Max.
Yeah,
Playable Paimon!
I like card games!
Who doesn't?
So in Genius Invocation TCG, all actions require you to spend elemental dice. Each round, both you and your opponent will roll 8 elemental dice. Each of these elemental dice can have any one of 8 elemental attributes.
Hold on, but there's only 7 elements in the world of Teyvat.
You're right. So
no, there's
in
8.
addition to the 7 standard elements, there's also one called the Omni element. The elemental dice required for a character card to perform an action
Physical counts as an element
to the character's element. So, for example, a Pyro character like Diluc needs either Pyro or Omni elemental dice to perform an action. Clear now?
Yep, crystal clear.
Also, elemental dice can be used to switch characters or play a variety of other cards, such as equipment cards, event cards, and support cards. All these cards create the potential for a variety of strategies.
Right. While playing Genius Invocation TCG, travelers can earn player experience, which will increase your player level. As your level increases, you'll be able to challenge more characters and NPCs. By completing challenges, you may earn lucky coins, new cards, or other rewards. Lucky coins can be exchanged in the event shop for cards, or can even unlock dynamic skins for certain cards.
Dynamic skins? Those are cards that have moving illustrations, right?
That's right. All character cards can unlock a dynamic skin. After unlocking that, there'll even be a cool bonus animation whenever you cast that character's elemental burst.
Cool. And if you're confident in your TCG skills, you can also invite a friend to duel. After reaching a high enough player level, you'll even unlock a matchmaking mode. So be sure to give it a try.
Travelers should note that playing against your friends or other
They better have
travelers
lore.
won't count towards any leaderboards or provide any rewards.
They better have
so
lore.
you can relax. It's all just for fun. Okay, that's everything we have for Genius Invocation TCG, and that brings us to the end of today's special program. So, what did you think?
Why does it have to be over? There's so
No
much that
bingo.
this version
No
has to
bingo
offer.
again.
Yeah, I can't even take it all in right now. I'm just super stoked to be part of this. I think I just gained some Kuguryoku points just doing this whole thing, so.
Man, the new characters look cool.
I know, what about Scaramouche hovering? Like, that's insane.
I know, that's awesome.
That's super dope.
That's awesome, and I cannot wait to play
Oh wait, this
in
counts.
some of these events and mini games. I'm super excited. This was so fun. I'm really glad that we got to do the special program together.
I'm so happy I got to come back for another special program. This is my 3rd time being on one of these, and I can't wait for number 4. I'm counting.
I'm so happy. This is my first one, so thank you for having me.
Yay!
Doesn't it feel good?
Yes.
Doesn't it
I
feel good to
honored
feel
be here.
special?
Seriously, I'm
Do
just
you
like-
feel special?
I really do. Thank you.
I want these two to be friends in
Well,
game so
I
bad.
think
It's
this is the
not
end
even
of
funny.
Our special program. So I hope everyone enjoyed it, and we'll see you in game. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
See you later.
Okay, well, I didn't get bingo again. Nothing new under the sun. Nothing new. This one, yes. This. Yeah. So, what'd you guys think? I know I got close this time. I got pretty close with the bingo this time. Ito didn't beatbox, and I'm sad. No forbidden books. They didn't say anything about a Farazan hangout, so I guess we're not getting one? I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Yeah, the rest of it I guess is fine. I'm also surprised at no child slander. I wanted child slander. I don't think the card should stress you out too much. Like they said, it's all for fun. You don't have to play it at all if you don't want to. I don't think there's any primos involved. Child Slender takes place weekly on Monday. Yeah. All right, I have... This was funny. I love this. I hope he actually hangs upside down. So there's going to be this ghost has a unique model, which I think is interesting. They rarely do this. I am most interested in this next bit, though.
Jester, I have completed the task you gave me.
This is interesting. So This is interesting. Jester is Piero, for the record, just in case no one thought that. But this is an Inazuma shot, right? Like, Dottore is in Inazuma. The question is, when is he in Inazuma? Given how later in the trailer, Scaramouche is like, says Dottore's name in 2 different tones, that kind of implies that Dottore might actually be to blame for like a little bit more than just turning Scaramouche into a robot and leaving him to, sleep forever. again. People really like to leave him to sleep. Poor guy just wants to wake up. So I'm wondering, like, okay, so sorry, my brain's kind of trying to catch up with, my mouth is trying to catch up with my brain. That one, other way around. You guys think it's funny that like every time Dottore shows up in the lore, it's about like some really bizarre thing, right? Like every time he shows up, it's like, what? Wait, what? He did what? And it's like over and over and over again. And I keep thinking there's no way I can possibly be surprised by anything that's gonna happen with this guy again. And then something comes out of nowhere and you're like, he got bitches? What? And then it's just wild. Like, it's just wild. But now I'm wondering if Dottore might actually be a bit more involved with Scaramouche's history than previously thought. Because okay, so here's a couple of implications. Let's hypothetically say that Dottore is involved with Scaramouche actually ending up with the Harbingers. Because it's kind of likely, right? Like, everyone assumes that Dottore is Zandik, or Zandik, I'm not quite sure which it is, which was this guy he was a scholar in Sumeru who was really interested in the Conrian Robotech, and so is Dottore. So, like, their backstories really lined up, and I'm wondering if, because their backstories really line up, it kind of implies that Dottore really enjoys ruin technology. So it stands to reason that he'd be quite interested in a living robot built by an Archon. And we know that he's the one who tinkered with Scaramouche after he was recruited. So let me put it this way. It's very possible that this scene here is talking about how the Jester has tasked Dottore with recruiting this guy with Scar, right? But that would have had to happen at the bare minute, like 500 to 490 years ago, right? Like, it has to happen within that time frame because it has to line up with a couple of characters that Scaramouche comes in contact with after he wakes up. And we know Scaramouche is no older than 500. And we know Dottore was recruited. But that means Dottore would have been recruited before Scaramouche, which is interesting because that gives us a timeline of events, right? I have a question. Can Dottore be responsible for the visions on Shoki no Kami's arms yet somehow not take any visions at all? There's no visions on Shoki no Kami. You have another one. The divine gaze that Dottore talks about in the interlude trailer of the Fatui is actually a vision and not the gnosis. And this is the next move. Yeah, so it's actually, the way I see it, it's kind of both. Because in the Golden Apple Archipelago event with Kazuha, when we were looking at his thing, they were talking about being under the divine gaze. And that was a reference to their vision. But that implies that the divine gaze is something else. Like, the divine gaze should be the gnosis of sorts, but being under the influence of the divine gaze is having a vision. So it's kind of both. It's kind of both. It would be very interesting if he was the one to wake Scaramouche up in the first place, yeah. No, Kusanali wasn't in Golden Apple Archipelago. She was traveling through the ley lines. That's what she does. Like, mentally. She's like astral projecting. Anyways, that's kind of what I'm thinking with Dottore right now. It raises a lot of questions, though. Like, a lot of questions.
From this day forth, Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist.
All right, one other thing. Like I said earlier, no one's allowed to give me shit for saying this is an Irminsul fruit fragment logo anymore. No one is allowed to do that. I don't care. All right? This is a real thing now. The interesting thing here is that this symbol, the way it's laid out right now actually looks, again, like the Homa symbol, which we've talked about at length in multiple videos, so I won't do it again. But it's at the center of this tree, right? It's like at the actual center of this tree. And it's like blinking and all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of helping to support the idea that an Irminsul fruit, that little core, is like belongs to a person. Like a unique person, not necessarily the tree. I talked about the Kabukimono thing earlier. It's it has to do with the way the localization team kind of treated him. He was the Kabukimono before he was Wanderer. See?
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
I don't know if Dotori's coming back. That would be an interesting thing.
Dottore! In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
It also kind of sounds the way that he says it, that Skarmish might now have a vendetta against Dottore. I really like that when they redesigned him and they're going through his redemption arc, that they haven't erased his personality, right?
Squall and Fury.
I like that. Right, I need one image of, come on. No, we gotta back up a bit. I gotta back up a bit. I want to show you guys something.
Squall and Fury.
I was hoping for a better angle. I'm not gonna get one, I don't think. Don't think I'm gonna get one. So, the ring behind him, all right, his ring is very different from Raiden's. Come on. I'm trying to get like a good shot of it. It's really hard. It's really hard. Oh, that's not really a good one either. Come on. Why will you not show me the ring? This is so annoying. I mean, this is something. This is a symbol that actually resembles a lot of stuff that's on Venti's summoning circle. I don't know if you guys have seen that. In the manga, when Venti wakes up, he's got like the summoning circle, and then also in Venti's teaser trailer, he has this like summoning circle that has like the Anemo symbol at the top that like overlays on top of him. It's very reminiscent of stuff that Venti has. Very reminiscent. Oh my god. Why is there like no good shot of this stupid thing? This is the most aggravating thing. I wanted to, okay, well, we'll just try and get this one. That's such a good expression. Look at him. He's still unhinged. I love it. All right, this is probably as good as I'm gonna get. I don't know why this is such low quality though. Put this up. That's a little better. Okay, I don't know if you guys can really see this. I don't know if you guys can really see this. Let's see. Do you guys see it now? Do you guys see that his ring is the sundial on the wind and time aisle. Oh, not with the bingo there. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hang on. I'll just, yeah. How's that? Is that better? We don't need that anymore. Is that better? You guys see it now? This is why I keep saying he's like really tied to Venti, like specifically. This is such a terrible screenshot. You can see it better in some images that I can't share right now because they're still tech. Well, no, actually, it's not a leak anymore, is it? Because it was in the special program. It's not a leak anymore. Okay, hang on. We gotta. It's not a leak anymore. It's not a lower tail. I forgot. They showed this, so we're fine. You see it? You see it here? And then you see this? And then we're gonna do one more. Actually, we might need to hang on. We might actually need to grab it from Venti's trailer. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find. This is his teaser, right? Character demo. Yeah. That should be fine. It's this one. We'll find it. It's not that one. Back here. There it is. This is the circle that he has. Yeah, the skill shows it too, but this is like not on a flat surface. Anyway, there's a lot of similarities. Also, I think it's funny that his hat literally turns into his ring. That's fun. Yeah, here we go. We'll do this one too. Oh, it's a little. That's little. It's very little. Well, you can still kind of see it. It's fine. We'll just zoom in. We zoom in. You can see it here too. It's not as, as obvious as this one. But the hat is pretty reminiscent of it. Also looks like a flower. Like maybe a goddess of flowers. Oh my god, I can't remember how to spell this one. Is it Tulutale? I have no idea. I can't spell it. Every time my dyslexia kicks right in whenever I see that word. Anyway, that was the thing I wanted to point out. Yeah, that was it. Moving on. Oh, no, there's one other thing. I noticed. I don't know if you guys noticed this.
Dottore. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
All right. You see this right here? You see this marking? Right here. Tula. Okay, thank you. I'll look up in a second. You see this? It's glowing here. So this kind of implies that this silk here is semi-transparent. Or it's actually his body. Because if you watch him in the animations and stuff, he doesn't have them glow until he uses his skill. And then, let's see if I can catch it. Oh, just barely. Just barely. Oh, I guess it would be in this shot too, but whatever. There, you see it right here? His markings are glowing. And we can see this now. Do you see this? Right here. Right here. He's got the same mark that the Shogun does, except it's inverted. It's inverted. So he literally has the seal on it, but it's a different seal from the one that the Shogun has, which is really interesting, and I'll show you why. Hang on. I'll show you why. So the Shogun, all right, so the Shogun actually has, this is actually just a better image to use. The Shogun has this image on her back, all right? She's got this one, where the black area here is the stuff that's lit up on her, right? But Scaramouche actually has this white part lit up on his instead. And that's the Electro symbol. Now, a lot of people have theorized that Scaramouche might have more direct connections to Makoto than we've thought. And this is part of one of the reasons why. A was always considered to be Makoto's shadow, and since Makoto was the Archon, the Electro Archon, it would make sense that she's more associated with the Electro symbol than her sister is. Since A is her shadow, she could therefore be the negative space. So she would be the Mitsudomes here, right? Like that. Which would mean that Scaramouche is definitely way more connected to Makoto than we thought. He'd be the primary one, right? I legit think that he was not necessarily meant to be Makoto, but he was crafted in Makoto's image. And a lot of that comes from the fact that, like, if you think about A and her outlook on life and eternity and things like that, all of her stuff is very... She's very much about stasis and holding things in place. That was her whole arc, right? Trying to understand that change is a thing. But Makoto's thing was all about transience and how everything's always changing, nothing's stable, life is fleeting, right? Scaramouche actually has exactly the same ideals as Makoto did. He doesn't share anything in common view-wise as Raiden does. The difference is Makoto was very much, life is transient and that's what makes it wonderful. Scaramouche looks at it and goes, life is transient and that's what makes it pointless, because he's kind of had his views on the world warped, right? But he still has her perspective. So I think that's pretty cool. I mean, honestly, yeah, this is the Pontiel mark, right? This is like, remember in Shadows Amidst Snowstorms, Albedo was talking about his Pontiel mark, the star in his throat. That's technically his belly button. Yeah, this is the same thing. This would be Scaramouche's Pontiel mark, and the same with the Shogun. So it looks like, so there are two things I want to point out. They did not say Scaramouche story quest. I don't know if anyone noticed that. But there is a quest, which means it's probably an Archon quest, because it's voiced, so it's not a world quest. And it's either going to be, and it can't be Sumeru's primary Archon quest, because that's technically over. We did the last one, right? So it has to be an interlude, which means you can't skip this. Which means everyone has to see his backstory. Force feeding them. I'm excited about that. That's gonna be funny. Yeah, so there was that. What was the other thing I wanted to say? Oh, hey, look, it's right here. It's right here. I didn't even have to go pull that. I didn't even see it. What the hell? I feel dumb. Anyway. Yeah. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. Oh, I didn't notice Katsuragi. We'll go back and look again. So the thing about an interlude trailer is that we know the interlude trailer now is learning about Tatarasuna. And the only person who knows more about Tatarasuna than anyone else is someone who's been there, which would be Scaramouche. So let's assume the interlude trailer is about us working with Scaramouche to get information on Tatarasuna for whatever reason, right? And it seems like it might have something to do with Dottore, yeah? He's in one frame. Okay, we'll go back and look for it. This means that because we're not getting his story quest now, there's a strong possibility that Kazuha and or Raiden will be in his story quest whenever the hell that comes out. That's all I was trying to say. You said it was one frame. So are we literally like just frame hunting for a bit? Or what? I don't remember where he says Dottore. Oh, I guess it was over here.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
Okay, so it should be around here. Big Inazuma gear shop. Yep. Come on. Where are we going?
Tori.
It wasn't that, right? No, that wasn't. That was just a shadow. There are those things. Oh, there it is. I see him. There he is. So they did give him a more or less unique model. That's nice. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad. Oops. They literally show him for like 10 frames. But that's a really strong indicator that they want to draw the parallel between Katsuragi and Kazuha. I mean, obviously they gave him the same red stripe. They're related by blood, so it's like, what is that? Why is there the Fontaine person? I'm not sure. I wonder if this is Nagamasa. Because this is the sword that killed Katsuragi right here. So is that Nagamasa? And then who's this guy? I didn't even see Raiden was in here. Oh, Niwa Yoshinori. That might be Yoshinori. Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Interesting that Raiden's here. Huh. And all of that comes over here to... I want to see it. Does this look like a galaxy to anyone else? Is it just me? Just for that 1 second. This is where the vision forms. I just want to see. Because it just lights up and then all of a sudden there's a vision. And it came with the casing. Vision lore might be loathed. There it is. Which means that his memories are tied to his ambition. basically what that means. So there's that. Interesting. Very interesting. I know they gave us a peek from Rana, but they didn't actually animate anything. Did they wipe a tear? I didn't even notice. Hang on. Oops. I went too far. Oh, I wish there was like a... Oh yeah, it does. He is. We are gonna make him cry. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. Oh, you know what? Someone pointed out the other day, probably like yesterday, that we have Anemo boys basically like bridging the gap between countries right now. Kazuha bridges the gap between Liwa and Inazuma. And then Xiao actually bridges the gap between Liwa and Sumeru. And Scaramouche bridges the gap between Sumeru and Inazuma, which I think is kind of cool. Oh, this is not playing. There we go.
Squall and Fury. You dare to gaze upon me?
Dare to mess with me?
Farzan is a lot better than I thought she was going to be. I was worried about her, honestly.
Too late for regrets. Have fun with this gift.
I don't have a whole lot to say about her design, though. I'm just really excited that she's sassy.
The mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
Yeah, I think Dotori and Scaramouche are about to throw hands. That'll be interesting. That'll be very interesting. You know, Dotori might actually be controlling his mind in some ways. Ito and Scaramouche mean the 4 stars will be Faruzan and Goro. Yeah, that's the unfortunate part. Well, it's not that... It depends on how you look at it. Look, there's an Abyss Mage head. Look at it. Look at the... Look at the... Oh, sorry. That was funny. Yeah, so... It's kind of implied throughout the finale of the Sumeru Archon quest that Dotori has some level of mastery over the Irminsul, where he can literally pluck out memories and snapshots in time and just do whatever he wants with them. He can make them into real bodies, he can distill them, he can control people's minds, he can do that kind of stuff. So thinking of it that way, I'm looking at him and Scaramouche's whole thing with dreams and memories and all that kind of stuff and wondering if Dotori might have severely tampered with his memory. I'm really happy about this, though. This is a lot... This is much better than what I thought they were going to do with him. Oh, wait, I was going to talk about the banners for a second. So the thing about the banners, when there's a bunch of stuff you don't want on it, right? If you already have a couple of units at C6 on a banner that you're pulling on, it's not necessarily a bad thing because of the refund system. Depending on how your pulls go, you can get up to like a 10 or 15% basically rebate on your pulls. So if you go into a banner that has a bunch of characters on it that you don't have constellations on, you don't get those wishes back. So I think of it more like if I go into a banner and there's characters that I don't have on there, I'm getting value because I'm getting constellations. But if I go into a banner and I have all the characters on there at C6 and I'm thinking, I'm going into this banner and I'm getting a discount on my pulls. So it's not that bad. It's only possible because of the rebate system that Genshin has. And you have to make sure that you're actually buying something worthwhile. Like sometimes the rebate system can be used to say, you know, buy, you can buy a constellations for standard banner characters like Kaya or Lisa or Amber, right? Or you can buy more wishes, which is probably the better thing to do because like, unless you really don't have any better options for Blackcliff as a Blackcliff alternative, like you don't really need Blackcliff weapons, and no one should be buying royal weapons ever at all. Like don't do it. There's no character that works well with royal weapons as far as I know. This bell is I actually had two things I wanted to say about these two things. This bell is interesting because Tule Tula, which is the word I can never spell, is a city in the desert. So looking at Scaramouche's new aesthetic and everything, he's got Scarlet King lore. And Scarlet King had all that because he's using the Desert Pavilion set. And the Scarlet King created the Golden Slumber, right? And then Scaramouche is known for being able to forcefully wake himself up from dreams. And he's got all of that kind of association, right? So this has desert lore. It's interesting that they're associating Scaramouche with the heritage of a god that was built around mania and dreams. I think that's interesting. Yeah, same as the key of Kajnasuit. Same thing. Yep. They put the bell on the bell weapon banner. Yeah. Yeah, so the other sword is an umbrella yokai, which is cool. We just have to hope that it's you know, how do we put this? Not useless. I don't know if you guys have played Kazuha's Story Quest, so very minor non-story spoilers, but you actually get a weapon from that story quest. You can't get refinements on it, and it looks really cool, but it's kind of useless overall, like as a weapon. It's not a very good weapon. So I'm hoping this is not a repeat of that. I would love a actually decent sword here. That would be nice. But yeah, it's a yokai. The umbrella sword, actually, we'll grab one. I can spell, I promise. I can never remember what it's called. This guy. I mean, obviously you can see there's a lot of renditions of it, but this is a very, very common yokai in Japanese mythology. So that's why the umbrella is like that for the test of courage thing. It's really appropriate. It's really appropriate. Oh, that's the other thing. If you haven't done Kazuha's Story Quest, do it now. Like before 3.3 drops. The reason is, regardless of whether or not it ends up being required for the interlude quest, which I have a feeling it might be, the things that happen in his quest are very, how do I put this? Let's just say you could replace one of the characters in that quest with Scaramouche and it would be perfect. Like it would actually still work. So you can almost look at it as like the story quest is alluding to Scaramouche and Kazuha's historical relationship with him. Like, you know, the relationship with the Niwa family and the Kaedahara family and that kind of stuff, right? So it is relevant. If you go into that quest looking at it from that perspective, you'll get way more out of it than if you just go into the quest and are just like, why am I doing this? What is this? What has happening? You know, so go into it with that kind of expectation. You'll see what I mean pretty quick. It'll also be really nice to go through that quest. If you went through the quest a long time ago, I recommend rewatching a Let's Play of it, or like, not a Let's Play, a recording. I'm sorry, I'm old. It's fine. A recording of it. So that you can just refresh on the stuff that went there before 3.3 hits, because it's probably going to be kind of relevant. So especially if you haven't done the Iridori Festival. If you have not done the Iridori Festival and you did not do Kazua's Island in the Golden Apple Archipelago, or you don't remember any of those things, please do his story quest before 3.3. There's really only like a couple of scenes you need to watch from Iridori. Like, you don't have to watch the whole thing. There's a lot of fluff in Iridori. Lugos Let's Play is a bit old. Like, no one uses the term Let's Play anymore. It's pretty bad. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's all I have for now. I'm stoked. Okay, I am so stoked. I'm excited. I currently have approximately 76,000 Primo Gems saved up. And I will be streaming those pulls. I will do those live. I will do them live when the patch ends that night, but I will not do the story quest on stream because I don't have confidence that I'll be able to stream and record at the same time. I've never tried it before. I don't want to. I think it'll be problematic. So there's that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try to C3R1. The reason I'm going for C3R1 is because I'm gonna be able to get about 100,000 primos by the time his banner shows up. And I'm not confident about my luck. Because my luck is pretty bad. Like I said, when I went for Redhorn Stone Thresher for Ito, I had to spend 27,000 just on that because I had to epitomize it. So I'm not hopeful that I'll get the bell right away. So I'm going to try. If we get really lucky, I will attempt to C6, but the goal is like at least to go to C2. So we'll see. Yeah, credit card easy, sure, but like also please spend responsibly. Like, guys, you can whale if you want to, but like also maybe don't. There's a lot better things to spend money on than, you know, just buying some small number bumps. It's fine if you want to whale once in a while. Like, this is the one character I said I'd spend money on, but I'm still not gonna like throw a couple grand at a character. I don't want to do that. If I keep saying Bell, you'll end up with a bunch of claymores in the weapon banner. Listen, I'm going to end up with a bunch of claymores in the weapon banner anyway. No one understands how much the Favonius Greatsword loves me. I have so many. I have a ridiculous amount. So yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I'm more interested in getting the R1 of the weapon than getting his remaining 3 constellations. I'll put it that way. So there's that. But I do have a guarantee, and I'm at 45 wishes in. So we should be able to get the first one reasonably quickly. Hopefully I don't jinx that. We'll see. But yeah. So that's that. I'm really hyped. I hope this is really cool. I really want some Fatui lore. You know, that's the one thing we've been really missing is some actual Fatui lore. We've been getting a lot of Abyss lore, like kind of tangentially, because the Abyss is kind of like this ongoing kind of omnipresent threat, I guess, is a good way to put it. So we've been getting drip fed Abyss lore slowly. So I have lots of faith we'll get lots of lore about that as we continue to go along. But like Fatui lore, we're at Sumeru, and we've still only really met in game like 4 harbingers, right? Like we met Senora, Scaramouche, Child, and Dottore. Yeah, that's literally it. We have only met in game 4 of 11 harbingers. And there's not that many chapters left, so I'm like, are we... I don't know. So we really need some Fatui lore. Scaramouche knows a lot of stuff, and because he doesn't work for the Fatui anymore, like, unlike Child, he could tell us things. His voice lines are going to be very interesting. Even if you don't like him as a character, even if you're not going to pull him, I strongly recommend you read his character stories and his voice lines, because I feel like Child, he's gonna have some very interesting, subtle lore drops of stuff. He knows shit. You know, he knows things. Yeah, Scaramouche's Fatui NDA expired. Exactly. His Fatui NDA expired. He can tell us things. For sure. Yeah, False Sky, that too. I feel like we're going to get some False Sky lore in the thing because, again, you saw the Irminsul and the Irminsul fruit. And by the way, even though that tree didn't look like the pink Irminsul that we saw before, that doesn't really mean a whole lot because if you remember, the Sacred Sakura in A's second story quest also gets blue and digital halfway through when it starts to kind of like recreate the world around him. So we'll see. I don't think he'll lose his memory. If he lost his memory, there would be no point in him having that moment where he like grabs the vision. You know what I mean? Like when he grabs the vision for himself in this scene, he's just like, in that case, I'll take some time for myself, right? He's not going to lose his memories because his memories are like the journey that we're going on. You saw Katsuragi there. He's going to remember all of those things. And he's got a vendetta against Dottore. So he remembers that. So we know he's not getting memory wiped. Plus, he's still a little shit. If he was getting completely memory wiped, I think he'd be a bit more like timid and gentle, like you see in the flashbacks. Yeah, redemption, not amnesia, exactly. What might happen is that Dottore might scramble or have left some lasting damage on certain parts of his memory that may involve like some top secret Fatui stuff. Or maybe he was just never involved in top secret Fatui stuff. Who knows? Faruzan trapped in a domain rather than a puzzle room. I don't know why it can't be both. I don't know why the puzzle room can't be a domain. Does that mean we're not going to get Scara ride in mom-child therapy session? No, we could still get that in his story quest because this event here is not a story quest. It's an interlude. What is the top secret Fatui stuff? Who knows? We don't know what they're doing. Like, we don't know what the Fatui want to do with the Gnosis. We don't know what they're trying to do, right? Like, we don't understand their end goals. They have records on descenders, right? Like, there could be all sorts of stuff like that that Scaramouche could or could not be privy to. But the Fatui knows a lot of stuff. Why change identity then? The best example I could use for that is, like, if you're transgender, right? If you were originally named as a man, but you were actually a woman, when you transition, you kind of kill off that name, right? You go by a new name. It's not that you were never that person. It's just that that name and that person doesn't represent who you are anymore. I think that's the best way I could compare it. Are we dead naming him if we stick to Scaramouche? Oh, well. Time to name him Shinji then. We'll just all collectively... Speaking of, if we can't call him Scaramouche, I'm not calling him Wanderer because the shortened version of Wanderer is Wanda. And Wanda got a vision. And I'm not calling him WandaVision. So, for me, he's either Shinji, Belial, or Fujin. Those are the three names that I think suit him the best. Belial, because that is a perfect demon name for him. There is no demon in the Guardia that is better for him than that one. Fujin, because obviously he's Fujin to Raiden. That's why he's a Nemo. And then Shinji because Evangelion. It's just too perfect. So there's that. So those are like the 3 names that I think are like the epitome of what he could be now. So. Not Fujin like Windblade. Fujin like the god. Fujin. Have you never seen Fujin and Raijin? Have you never seen these? This is Raijin. This is Fujin. Well, they're not necessarily besties. They're brothers, but whatever. Close enough. Why does this look like Xiao and Raiden? That's so funny. Doesn't it? Anyway. You get the idea. Look, it's a Naruto and Sasuke thing. There's your Raiden and your Fujin. That's the funniest thing. All right, I'm done. That's it. I'm out. I'm out. All right. I don't think I have anything else. So I think I'm gonna sign out. I think that's it. I think that's all we got. The thing is, I think I'm still gonna have to call him Scaramouche for the most part. Because, like, I think people are gonna get really confused if I don't. Don't you think? Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, so anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. By the way, if any of you here were the recipient of the Welcome Moon giveaway, those have all been given out. They were given out last week, so if you didn't get yours and you did accept it, please let me know because some other lucky person probably got it instead. So there's that. Yep, those all went out, and I just want to thank you guys one more time for watching and sticking with me. I'm really excited for 3.3. This is gonna be so much fun. No anime mentions though. That's weird. But yeah. All right, I'm gonna peace out. So yep, thanks for watching. Take care, everyone.